Talk to me. Talk to me. Am I good? A little up, a little bit, so I don't be feeling like I'm yelling. My voice is. Woo!
It is 7:30.
Woo! Tell me when we on that one. Welcome everyone, welcome everyone, welcome everyone, welcome. They are in the studio saying that I am extra, but I promise you the Spirit of the Lord has settled in this place already. I am excited. See, I don't know about them, but I am excited for what God is getting ready to continually do because he already started. I am, okay, let me get, y'all like me to be pumping. Okay, listen. Welcome, everyone. I'm LaShawna Alfred. I am the host of You Change Counseling and Consulting. In our show, I know, my bad. My show, Stories of Heroes. We like to first of all give thanks for to the Mental Health Recovery Services Board for co-sponsoring this series, removing the stigma off of mental health. That's what we're doing, removing the stigma off of mental health. And I am excited to introduce to you our guest tonight, Raymesha Highsmith. This young lady is so powerful, so dynamic, and today we're just going to have a conversation. We're going to talk, and she's going to share with us about mindfulness and how she has incorporated it into her life to help bring balance into her life. And so without further ado, just give me a moment. Man, God is good, y'all. I can hear my assistant over here like she's so extra. I hear her like, she said, but he is good. You just extra. but man, I don't know. It's something. It's just something. You know, when the Spirit of the Lord moves, you know, it's just something. But I'm excited. So hopefully tune in, ask questions. Hopefully, no, you will get something out of it if you're open to receive it. So without further ado, thank you for those of you who are in the audience, Raymesha Highsmith. Welcome, dear. How are you?
Trying not to fall.
Well, you look lovely.
Thank you, as you do too.
Thank you. So I am excited to get into this topic. You know, mindfulness, meditation, and your journey.
Yes.
Right? Your journey.
Yes.
And so let's just start. Just share with me how did you get into mindfulness, what it's about. Sometimes, you know, in certain arenas, mindfulness may seem real non-spiritual or non-ungodly, you know, but just share with us how you got into it.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I started mindfulness or getting into meditation, and it all came when I began to work on myself physically. So I got on this whole healing journey, and I got the physical aspect of me together, but this wasn't together. My mind, my emotions. So as I continued the journey, it seems like I had everything else in order, but something was missing. And yes, I am very spiritual. I'm faith-based. But I'm like, there's something. I'm like, God, I know there's a void somewhere. And I know everybody say, you know, God fill the void. He'll fill the void. Yes, he does. But there was just one little piece. And I'm like, as I began to study more of my healing journey, I came across, man, this is like a trifecta. There's 3 parts to this. Yeah, I look good physically, but I'm beat up mentally and emotionally. So where do I go? And I'll never forget coming across a scripture basically talking about meditation, meditating on the word. And so I'm like, okay, meditation, Then I stumbled across my instructor, and I did a meditation, and I learned how to silence my mind. That's not easy. That, I'm going to be honest, it's not easy silencing the mind. But once I mastered that, it was on the flow. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love that journey, you know, as it relates to you being in the Christian world, and going through your physical journey, and then still realizing, like, wait, hold on, there's three parts to me as an individual when we're talking about body, soul, and spirit, right? And so we go to feed that spirit part, but then there was something missing with how do I silence the mind? So I'm looking forward to hearing, that, but help us understand, like, the physical journey that you had to go on and how it may have affected the mental.
So to give you a little bit of my background, I wasn't raised, my mom didn't raise me. I didn't get back with my mom until I was 13. So I had a lot of abandonment issues. And then when I married my now husband, which is my second husband, a lot of people don't know that this is my second go round. He told me, he recognized, because he worked with like behavioral health. He was in that. And I guess to him, I was exhibiting signs of issues, of even some mental issues. And so he said, you need therapy. And I'm going to be honest. And when I got back with my mom, no, ain't no therapy. What happens in my house stays in my house. So he's like, no, you need to talk to somebody. And that's when I stumbled across you. But I prayed and I asked God, I said, okay, I'm on this whole healing journey, but I am messed up mentally and I need some help. So once I went to therapy, that's when it opened up all the more. So after I got past all that, I went to therapy. I fell so in love with my healing journey that I'm like, I knew what therapy and meditation did for me. I said, God, I want to do this for somebody else. So I began to study, and then I became a meditation guide. So I learned how to not just to navigate myself through it. Now I got certified and I'm able to navigate others through it.
Okay. What is that like? Because many people may experience like mind racing and their mind kind of going all over the place. And it's difficult to silence the mind. Like, how do you actually do that?
I start with breath work. So literally, you ever see somebody where you see people and they're in a frantic mode or they're mad about it, and you hear somebody say, wait, stop, take a breath. That's a real thing. And you can do it you can literally, I find myself even now when I feel anxiety, because I fought anxiety and depression for many years. And I literally will just take a deep breath and I'll hold it at the top and I'll count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I literally walk and I'll breathe. And I'll begin to say affirmations to myself. I'm calm. I am calm. My mind is at peace. I'm calm. You control this. But you just got to take that 30 seconds and remind yourself, look, I'm the controller of this. And I change those racing thoughts, that angry mom. Nope, I speak. I am at peace. My mind is calm.
Okay. How did it help you with the abandonment? Like, if your mind is like, just say you're being triggered, right? And your mind is like, okay, no one loves me or whatever the case. How do you silence that? Like, kind of walk us through it in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Because you experienced it. And talk to us from your struggle and not from where you are now. And then we'll get there.
So from the struggle aspect of it, how I got here, I changed. Affirmations were what got me. So I began to say positive things to myself, and I didn't always believe it. Not right away. It took time. But I would get up in the morning, like, I'll give you an example. I had very low self-esteem, and I know it stemmed from abandonment, feeling like nobody wanted me. And it started off with the first person that I came in contact with, my mother. So when you feel unwanted by that person, that's the first person you come in contact with. You feel like don't nobody want me. So then you begin to beat yourself up. Well, why didn't she want me? Well, what's wrong with me? So then all those thoughts, and then growing up, I had even in my own household, even with my siblings and things too. I remember because I had really bad acne, and look at all them bumps in your face. You're so ugly. But I had to change my narrative. And so I would get up and say to myself, you know what? Yeah, I went through this, but I'm beautiful. I am no longer, I'm an adult now. I'm no longer what they said I am. I'm changed. I know what I want to be and I know who I can be. So I began to say different things concerning me. That's where it started for me. I began to say things, positive things towards myself.
That's amazing. And so I want you to kind of walk us through like a 30 second. Can you do it in 30 seconds?
I can.
Like a mindfulness to just so the audience can experience and maybe those of you who are watching just to kind of help us see what it's like. Okay? Let us know what you want to see.
So
Those of you who are watching, we want you to just join in with this as well.
what I typically do at the beginning of any session, I call it the box method. And I always start with this purposely because we all understand and we know that our day-to-day routine is busy. Usually. There's always something going on. So I start with the box method. So I want you guys to visualize a box. And wherever you are, just get in a comfortable seated position. And I want you to visualize, take a second, visualize a box. Become aware of your breaths while you're visualizing that box. I want you to just really begin to slow down, bring awareness to your body, bring awareness to your breath. Literally, feel it as your chest lifts as you inhale and as it goes down as you exhale. Become aware of every breath that you're taking. Slow it down. Because right now, all that matters is you in this moment. Take that box. I want you to see yourself holding a box. And I want you to visualize this box having a lid on it. Open up that box. Take today. Everything that happened today, doesn't matter what it is, see yourself dumping it inside of that box. Once you have your day, whatever it brought you, in that box, close it.
I got a U-Haul box.
Doesn't matter. See yourself being bigger than that box. No matter how big that box is, envision yourself being bigger and stronger than that box. Once you got that box, don't matter how you see yourself getting rid of it, but get rid of it. Push it to the side, put it on the shelf, and walk away from it. Remember, it's still there if you decide you want to go back to it. But right now, that box does not matter. I want you to begin to think positive, peaceful thoughts. I am at peace. My mind is calm. My mind is at peace. Nothing that happened today matters. All that matters right now is this is my right now. This is my moment. And give yourself gratitude. Thank yourself for even allowing yourself to have this moment. Because you're worthy of this moment. This is your time. This is your space. This is your peace. Be in this moment. Breathe. Relax. Really embrace this moment. And remember that you're worthy to have this moment no matter what happened today. No matter what anybody said today. You are worthy to have this moment to pour back into you. And that's some of what I do. That's how I just begin the meditation.
Yeah. And that's interesting too because I literally seen a U-Haul box, right? And I'm looking and I'm like, okay. And then when you said put a lid on it or pick it up, I'm thinking, this thing is too big, right? Like this thing is too big. But then when you said make yourself bigger and do whatever you have to do, and when you started speaking, I seen like this, I seen myself kind of like type of position, just kind of like yes, you know. And so I want to know what was that like for you? Who want to share what that was like for them as they went through that? Did y'all do it? Did y'all do it? Okay, what did you want to give him the mic? Yeah, just grab him the mic. Or did you do it? You want to share it with us? Okay, can you share with us what you experienced just in this moment?
In this moment right now, it was just relaxing. Just because my day was chaotic and busy, and all your life, everything from kids to sports to gymnastics to dance to all of that, and not being home. So it was just like, oh, it was just relaxing and slipping into that other realm of that calmness.
Thank you. Can you pass that to?
Actually, I didn't get to the box. I was just stuck on the breathing and relaxing. And that really felt good. And even right now, it's just a little relaxed and like having aha moments all over again.
Normally when I do that exercise, whether it be walking or whatever, my box is like very heavy with different things in it, but it was like this time the box was light and I was just able just to fling it up on the top of the shelf. So
Okay. And so if you had an opportunity to do it, I want you to share in the comments what that experience was like for you. What do you want the people to know about mindfulness? What do you want them to know?
What I would want anybody to know is the importance of mindfulness. Because if you stay in that state of racing and going constantly, that never ends well. And people wonder why they have nervous issues, or you have people that are always enraged or frustrated all the time, because you're not settling your mind. So just taking a moment, and people think it can get hard, yes, but you'll be shocked with 30 seconds of taking that 30-second time just to breathe, what that would do for you. It's not rocket science. It is sometimes hard to quiet the mind, but even if you can't shut this all the way off, walk and breathe. Take deep breath work. Taking deep breaths in, holding it and releasing it out. And even saying little affirmations to yourself. Literally, your tongue carries so much power. It is a lethal weapon. What you speak, you shall be. If you're saying and you're breathing, saying, I'm calm, I am calm, you are going to become calm. I am at peace. I am at peace. You have no choice but to command the atmosphere and be at peace. Take that moment, even if it's 30 seconds. You have to. That's mindfulness.
Yes. How does mindfulness and spirituality come into play? Is there a relationship or a correlation? Or talk to us about that.
My personal belief, I do believe there is, because it doesn't matter if you look at almost any religion, they all do affirmations, they all pray, they meditate. Doesn't matter. Usually, almost at least all the ones that I've come across, they all do. It's very similar. So I do believe they definitely coincide. It's just your intentions behind what practice you're doing is what changes the dynamics of them.
Yeah. You know, when you first started talking to us about like your life, right? Mm-hmm. And it took me back to previous sessions where we talked about being accountable for your healing. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the common things that I'm hearing is that people are taking accountability, for the changes that they see. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes we can wait for someone else, to give us permission to heal. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts?
So I'm laughing because when I first tapped into meditation, I was afraid. And again, because I grew up Christian, and I'm just going to be transparent. Honey, you better not be tapping into nothing you ain't got no business. Duality. I'm like the blood of Jesus. But what does the Bible say? Study to show thyself approved. Yes. I had to study and learn all this. And once I studied and really started understanding, wait a minute, this is just breathing. You mean to tell me I'm sinning and it's duality because I'm breathing? The one thing that come on, but it also too in the word, doesn't he say meditate? Didn't he say, as a man thinks, so is he? Speak those things that be not as though they are. Those are affirmations. But people take things and they twist them. And the thing is this, again, my belief, I'm no preacher. My belief.
But you know the word.
I do. I know the word. Yes, I do. But the thing is this, from all of it, what is your intentions behind what you're doing? I'm not taking these affirmations and doing spells and saying, no, I'm speaking life.
Yes.
So what is your intentions behind what you're doing?
I love that. I love that. And so those of you who are watching, we want you to really ask yourself that question, right? What is the intention behind whatever you're doing? What's your intentions behind going to church, right? Going to counseling. What are your intentions, right? Because we can really make anything an idol.
Yes.
We can make anything an idol, you know. And so as we're going through this process of removing the stigma off of mental health, when you said you came and you began to seek, you know, help because you're like, okay, wait, something is not mixing here. What was that like for you? Here you are in the church, you know, you seem to have it all together, but yet you said you had to go outside of your mom's house to seek help.
I was, like I said, when I first came, I was so broken. In the beginning, I looked great on the outside. People saw me and was like, when I began to tell them my story, some people don't believe me. Well, some people met me as Mrs. Highsmith. They didn't know me as Raymesha Pickens before the ring. So when I first got to therapy, I was so broken before therapy is the reason what led me into, okay, now this is even deeper. Okay, and I'm glad they coincide. Let me tell you too, I don't care what nobody say, you need a bomb therapist. You do. And before I'm not just I was very strategic when I found you. I prayed and I asked God and he showed me your picture. I literally was very strategic because one thing that got me when I was calling and looking around for therapists, and I hope some of these institutions will hear this, the first thing they want to ask, what's your insurance? Well, what if I didn't have insurance? You know what I mean? Like you just would have hung up on me. When I called here, I got a response right back and everything was intentional. And that's what I was broken. I didn't need somebody breaking me down even more. I didn't need to be sitting in front of somebody that was looking at their time clock, wondering when the session was going to be over because you're getting paid by the hour. I needed somebody to really help me. I was heavy, very heavy. So that's where it started. And then once I'm glad I found it, because in meditation, and I've warned people too, things may come up. I am not a licensed therapist. When them emotions rise, you need somebody that is professional, that knows how to handle and tell you how to handle those emotions. Because I've had people, and I warn people before I even do guided meditations. I have people, not even just women, but I've had women and men come to me and they're crying afterwards. And it's only so far I can take you as a meditation guide, but it's telling you that once you get in that space and you're calm, there's no telling what comes up. So,
you know, I'm humbled. You know, I am. I'm humbled because we got a lot of people that would get in the field to position themselves to help people, but they get in and they're thinking about the money, you know, and they forget the lives, you know, and that's why, you know, I share with my team. I may act silly, but when I get hard, it's because we're juggling lives in our hands. So every time someone comes, I'm telling y'all, I'm humbled by you trusting me with your life, you know, and I know how hard it is. Trying to keep it together. I know how hard it is, especially for us. Who is us? For Black women to trust other black women. We already come with trust issues. And so for you to come and you to trust God that he led you here is overwhelming, you know, at times, because I realize that if I ever lean on Lashana, if I ever lean on Lashana to help you with your life, I'm gonna mess up. I'm gonna mess up. And that's why I do what I do, because I remember what it was like not having nobody. I remember what it was like when it seemed like the lights would never come on. And so when you come, it's fragile. It's fragile. Because you're already trying to see if you can trust me. You know? And I want to say thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for trusting me. Trusting the God in me with your life. You know? Because you did the work. You know, you did the work. And those of you, no, you tell me. What would you say to the black woman that could be watching now, and she's suffering in silence, and she knows she hears God or something telling her to seek help, but the trust is keeping her from getting help? What would you say to her?
What I would say to her, because I am her, what I would have said to me is, what I would say to her is, I know it's going to sound cliche, but if you are here, please come here. Reach out. Because when I sat in that seat, this is a war zone, and people don't understand. This is a war zone. I was in battle with me. But when you find somebody to help you navigate this, that's it. Once you master this, you're good. But I had to trust, number one, I don't know what everybody's faith is. But I knew I had to I literally, because I knew this was so messed up. And I said, if you don't get this right, nothing else is going to be right. I said, God, I got to trust you because I want this right. Okay. And I need somebody that's not going to just sit across from me, that ain't got no substance, that ain't never been through nothing, because I've been through hell. And I need somebody that's been through this same kind of hell to pull me out, because I don't see the light. And I need somebody that's been there, that has been literally where I have been, to help pull me out. So get you somebody with some substance. And I can promise you this, I'm not saying this, Lord knows, I'm not getting paid for this, none of that. You change. Because this is a woman with substance. This is a woman that has been through stuff. And when God trusts you with those type of storms, you know how to navigate through them. So that's what I would say. Find you a great person that with substance, that has been through some stuff, to help guide you and show you how to come out. Because these certifications, it's not just about pen and paper. I paid the price for what I have. I walked through some stuff. I was certified first through him because I walked through some stuff. So yeah, I'm double certified if you ask me. I had to walk through some stuff. That's real. So it's not just from reading. No, I know how to navigate through some stuff because I've been there. So that's what my advice would be. Number one, if you believe in God, get on your knees and ask God to show you the person, because he will. I promise you he'll show you, because he showed me. Her picture came up plain as day. And when I sat here it wasn't just, yes, she had to ask the necessary questions because, yes, she still is a therapist. So there are certain questions, but it was kind of like now off the record. She looked at me, and I don't know if you remember this. I remember telling her, I said, I'm an author, I write, I have so much in me. LaShawna looked at me and said, wow, you are me. I don't know if you remember saying that. And I remember running home to my husband. I said, oh my God, I found the right person for me that's going to help me. And it's not somebody, and I'm sorry, excuse me, she looks like me. So she understands the stigmas and the things that I deal with every day as an African American woman, even in the professional world, because they'll try you there too. So that's my advice. That's what my advice. Get you somebody that you can talk to, a licensed therapist, because as much as I love my best friend, I don't even try to put the burden of me on her all the time because she don't know. Get somebody that's licensed that knows how to handle you, and get you somebody with some substance.
Oh my goodness, I promise you. I'm like trying to keep it together, right? And here's the thing. I'm not trying to keep it together because, well, I don't know. It's like, I don't even know you know what I'm saying? What's going on? But here's the thing. This is what I do know. This is what I do know. I know if you come to me, you've been through some hell. That's what I know. You've been through some hell, right? Because I know that I didn't survive all that I survived to play with somebody who ain't really ready to work. You know, because by the time you get to me, you already done tried everything.
Absolutely.
And now you ready to do some deep work. Because like you said, it really is the battlefield of the mind. And I was used to fighting everybody else, right? Because it was easier. But when I learned how to fight the battle in my mind, once I mastered that, and then God positioned me so I can help others, it took you trusting me to help you navigate through that mental, right? Because we're used to fighting back. And when I say don't say nothing, it take you trusting that I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? For you to be able to do it. And you did the work, you know? Because many people come to counseling and they say counseling don't work. But the reality is we got to sit back and ask the question, have I been working the counseling? Have I been working it? That's the thing. And so from that, you didn't just stop there. You just added. And you're like, wait, I want to add the meditation to this. I want to do it. And I remember us even doing it, you know, in the office. And I was like, okay, no, we're going to add this. We got to add it, you know, because again, there's no one size fit all when we're talking about pain, you know, and your experience. Everybody don't have to go to prison. Everybody don't have to get a divorce. Everybody don't have to be molested. But at the end of the day, we meet in that middle of the pain and understand that there's purpose in it. So are you writing your book?
I am. And I know it needs to get out, especially with just the beginning chapter of my life, married and divorced by the time I was 21, leaving an abusive man. You know, domestic violence. Like I've seen it. I've been through a lot in my 33 years of living. So yeah, I am writing the book.
Okay. What was that like? 21, married and divorced. You said by the age of 21?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was hard. It was very hard. I just remember I knew I was gonna be a unique individual. I knew this at a very early age. But it was very hard, and I just remember even as a young girl looking at some of the things, and I hope my mama don't kill me, and I know she's watching, but looking at some of the stuff that I watched my mom go through in her marriage, and I remember saying, I don't want that for me. And so some of it I feel like you deal with because now you have children and stuff involved, and I remember looking at my ex-husband saying, before I end up getting knocked up by this guy, and now I'm stuck dealing with you some kind of way because when I leave you, I don't want nothing else to do with you. So I don't want a kid involved because whether I'm involved with you like that, I still have to be involved with you. And I said, before a baby come about, I'm out of here. And I remember the last time he swung at me, I had just left the hospital, and I remember saying to myself, if I can just gather up enough strength to get off this couch, I'm leaving out that back door and I'm never coming back. And I did. He went in the bedroom, and I was able to get up enough strength to get off the couch, and I left out of my back door and I never went back. And this was back in 2009. So it was tough.
Did he come looking for you?
Oh, he absolutely did. His mom tried to fight my the divorce and everything. Lying, look at the enemy. They did. Mhm.
Okay. Wow. And so that was at 21.
21.
How
Yep.
long have you been married? What was that process between the divorce and going through the journey, and now you're married now? How long have you been married now?
Well, I've been with my husband now, and I just, the love of my life.
Oh, there
I
she
get
goes.
I get so blushy when you talk about Sean Highsmith.
Wait. Before you start, this is a moment. Me and my girl was like, yeah, she too soft.
Oh no, but wait, Sean won't tell you that because it'd be a whole different.
You got us looking at us like, wait, hold on. She all loving her husband. You playing with ours.
I'll be playing with mine too.
No.
But to the world, I'm Claire Huxtable.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Girl, but no, y'all see that blush,
Yeah.
though? When I even asked her about the husband now, y'all see that blush? Girl,
Oh,
you
my
can't say
goodness.
Sean Highsmith without this girl cheesing from cheek to cheek.
I feel like this, and I'm gonna be honest, and I'm not trying to. I am gonna gas him up, but he deserves it, honestly, because the process of getting from my ex-husband to my now husband, the enemy don't just let you walk away scotch-free. He gonna turn. He think, oh yeah, you think you got away? No, I'm gonna turn the heat up even hotter. I got with somebody worse than my ex when I left my ex-husband. He was 10 times worse. So the process to getting to Sean was tough. But I say all that, and the reason why I blush the way I blush when it comes to him is he made me a promise when we were dating. And when he proposed to me, I will never forget, he said, let me take our lives and change it for the better. He said, if you trust me, I will change our lives for that. Man has kept his word.
Man.
When I tell you he upgraded me, I'm like Ray Point, like 5.0. Upgraded everything about me. Like, listen to Highsmith. Don't it sound like money? No, but he upgraded literally. He always said, baby, we gonna always be VIP. Like he literally, but not even about the things that he does for me physically, the gift wise. That man touches me in places that I didn't think I could be touched. Literally. The patience. I was do you hear what I just said I came through? So can you imagine, poor thing, taking me on? Like, oh yeah, she look good, but she towed up. Like he had the time, baby, you need some help. You need to go to therapy. But he endured it. He sat down the times where I'm crying and he couldn't figure out why. And I'm opening up gifts and I'm crying my face off, and he like, well, what is it now? To have patience to deal with me. I can't wait till God really bless me, so I can turn around and bless him for dealing with me. So,
No, I love it.
yeah.
Y'all, married women, y'all need, we gotta have some classes, honey. Cause I be like, my man good to me too, but I be like, boy, no, I'm just joking. He over here like she ain't joking. No, I love it. I love how you love him. You know what I'm saying? And I love how he love you. And that's the beauty of it. And I love how God loved y'all.
Yes.
And how you just had to go through all of that, all the rough stuff to get to the diamond. And how he seen something in you that say, okay, babe, you look good to be on my arm, but I need you to go somewhere else so you can get that mental together.
It's tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. Any questions? Any questions for Raymesha right now? Any comments? What y'all saying? No questions. They don't have any questions. They looking. They just like, y'all don't have no marriage questions. Y'all, anybody married here? Go ahead. Oh, Lord. Yeah, what'd he do? What'd he do, girl? Yeah, help.
I'm serious. Seriously, y'all. It's literally the patience for me. It's the patience. I don't know where y'all met at in y'all lives, but for somebody to, he found me when I was so messed up. So that's what makes me like, you didn't leave me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't leave me.
Right.
When I felt like everybody else abandoned me when I was too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know what? I think I got the answer for you, babe. The problem is I met you when you was toe up. So that's why when you say my name, he blushed. No, no. Look, she like, girl. No. Oh my goodness. No. No, it's good. Seriously, I'm loving it. But like I told y'all, we got to be balanced. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to laugh. It's love, live, laugh, you know, and balancing. You know what I'm saying? The physical, you know, when we talk about physical health, is mental health.
Absolutely.
Is financial health. Is wealth. You know, and so we don't want to just focus in on one part of us.
No.
You know, and so how are you incorporating all of that into your life? Because you look good,
Oh,
girl.
Thank you. I feel good.
Yeah.
How I incorporate it all, because like I said, it's a trifecta. It don't matter how good you look, don't matter what status you are, what kind of car you drive. If it's all three, if one is out of whack, you have to have the balance. If one is out of whack, it's going to throw everything off. So yes, I did have the physical side of me together. Financially, I was okay. Yes, I came to therapy, but even after, I can't take you home with me. So as much as I would love to be like, it's 2:00 in the morning, LaShawn, I need you. But when it is that time where it's 2:00 in the morning and my mind is racing, and I'm thinking and overthinking and analyzing and reanalyzing, taking that moment, saying, wait a minute. Breathe. Take that time, silence that mind. Taking 30 seconds. And people, I don't have time. Yes, you do. Because you can pick up your phone and scroll through Facebook for 30 seconds. You can take that 30 seconds and just literally being aware of those thoughts. That's the first thing. Being aware of the thoughts. How are you thinking? Getting that together. Shut it off for a second. And literally just telling yourself, wait a minute. I have control of this. I have control of this. I'm going to take these. God has given me these 30 seconds. I'm going to take this time and just breathe.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. You have a question?
Yes, they would like to know, do you have a booking site for the guided meditation with Raymesha Highsmith?
I do. If you go to honeywhatsthetea.com, and I spell honey like honey, HUNNY, so it's HUNNY, honeywhatsthetea.com, and you can book a guided meditation with me through there.
You do some other things too, right?
I do.
Share with them some other things that you do.
So yeah, when I started my healing journey, again, it is physical, mental, emotional. So I do several things. I am an herbalist. I am a yoni steam practitioner, a meditation guide, and I also am a yogi. I'm a yin yoga instructor.
Okay. Awesome. So share with us the steam.
The yoni steams.
What's the tea, honey?
Honey, yoni steaming is such a beautiful practice, and a lot of women are probably familiar with yoni steaming. Some people call it vaginal steaming. All it is you take herbs, a nice selection of herbs. You always want to have organic herbs. And you're literally, I have yoni steaming pots. They look almost like little toilet seats. And you're literally sitting on them and you're steaming your area. So,
What's the benefit?
I was going to say the benefits of it is some people, especially like a menstruating woman, it can help lighten up your cycles. Some I've seen women too that have like fibroids and things that can help break those things down. And then it can be spiritual too, because again, you're in that moment. I know when I personally do yoni steams, it is so relaxing and calming because it's a time for yourself. I'm so big on self-care. I'm huge on self-care because I hear people say all the time, well, I don't have time, I don't have time, and I'm a mom, or, I'm a wife. I get it. We're all those things. I'm not a mom just yet, but I'm a wife. Dealing with my husband, that's a full-time job. But if you don't take that time for yourself, if you're no good for yourself, how are you going to be good to anybody else? So you have to take that time. So yeah, taking that time, and a yoni steam takes about 25 minutes. Some people do it for 30 minutes. I've even seen people steam for up to 45. I typically don't steam more than 25 minutes. But it's literally, first of all, you're getting all those herbs and things inside of you, which is phenomenal. But you're taking that time, and I don't have people fall asleep on my pots before because they're so relaxed. And I use chamomile. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And all of that is on your site as
Yep,
well.
it's
What's
all
the
on my
site
site.
again?
it's honeywhat'sthetea.com, and honey is Henny, let me quit playing. It's HUNNY. So remember to spell honey a little different.
Yeah, I love it. Any other questions? DJ? No. Any other questions? But no, seriously, reach out to Raymesha. I love that. I love. But the other thing that I love, notice that when she talked about self-care, she didn't talk about nails, hair. She didn't talk about doing all of that stuff. She like, you know what? Self-care is me taking time for self. And I'm about to sit right here on this pot and make sure, that I am good, And that's the thing, too. Even when you come to counseling, when you are with a counselor, they should be giving you the tools to use when you're not with them. And so the meditation is another tool when you're not with your counselor to help you really shift how your mind is processing things. Because that's where the battle is. That's where the battle is. Because just because we do it, we're not exempt from life. And so even in this process, what have you noticed as it relates to how you respond to things differently?
I respond totally different now. The only thing I can't get under control is road rage. No, but my best friend starts shaking her head. She hates driving with me. No, honestly, it's been such a huge, it's like you said, you give us the tools. You teach us how to navigate and talk about the emotions and all that stuff. But when you're away, that's the thing. So when you go to I'm going to share this. I would sometimes leave therapy. You pulled it out of me. And it wasn't just surface. I mean, she digging deep. Like stuff that I thought I buried, but did not. So when I'm leaving there, sometimes I'm very emotional because I had to deal with stuff that I didn't want to deal with, the ugly, right? I didn't want to deal with that, but you were like, no, we're going to talk about that. So not only dealing with the that's like the physical side of, yes, mental and stuff too, but when you go home, now I'm emotional. So I need to just take that time and be with self, reflect, quieting the mind. So though, yeah, you give us the tools and all that stuff, but it's a lot when you deal with that stuff and you're pulling things out that you did. We didn't want to deal with that. We bury that. So when you're dealing with that stuff, when you go home, now I can put on my meditation music and I can, okay, I'm going to breathe because that was a lot. Now I want to pour back into myself. So.
Yes, question.
I got a question. What made you, after you say true relationship, even give Sean a chance not to lose him over you?
Honestly, it's a true thing. And again, I'm not trying to sound cliche. It is a true thing. When you meet your soulmate, you know. I knew on our first date that was my husband. And this is why. Number one, conversation. I'm very observant. I've even been prophesied and told I'm a seer. I see everything. It's annoying sometimes. But I'm very observant. And I looked at even his body language. I knew he was the real deal. And even dating, I watched how my husband moved. Everything he did was done with purpose. And I said, this is somebody. And he was very sensitive. I knew I needed somebody sensitive to deal with me, somebody that was going to handle this fragile package with care. And that's what he did. So that's how I knew, and I knew I could trust him. I watched him. I watched him for a long time, and I'm sure he probably would just catch me staring at him and stuff. But I literally watched his behaviors. I watched the things that he did, how he handled himself. That's how I was able to trust him.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Any other questions? Because I was going to ask that question too. You know, because oftentimes when we have had failed marriages or relationships, you know, we guard it. You know, we start telling ourselves things like, I'll never be able to find someone else, or I can't trust men, you know, and different things like that. I'm curious though, by the time you met him, were you in the church?
Oh yeah, I've been in church all my life.
Oh, you was even in the church when you was in there? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, all right. I was curious about that. You know, and so even when you said like the first date, you knew. That's dangerous. That's just for her.
Please.
I don't want everybody to think like, oh yeah, I just know. Because you know, sometimes they bring their representative. So Mr. Highsmith must have brought his A game.
But see, also, where I'm going to say this, again, when I remember I told you I got certified to be who I was, but certified twice, I have a relationship with God. A very powerful relationship with God. So I'm very sensitive. I'm very sensitive to the spirit. And let me tell you, you almost, after you done been through 2 bad ones, can't nobody, you're not pulling over, you fool me once. No. So I recognize the behaviors. I can look, it's a shame before God, and I try not to judge, but it's different little habits and stuff that I can pick up on right away where I'm like, no. Trust me, I dated before Sean Highsmith. And you see who I'm with. I didn't have time. I already know. I say, yeah, you just gonna be for fun. I see. Okay, so.
Right. I love it. And okay. So any questions before I don't want to keep moving forward. Okay. Any last minute things? Because I know the time is. But any last minute things that you want to make sure that you give to the people? You know, what do you want them? There's a question. Go ahead. Yeah.
I have a real question too. What will you tell a woman who man what would you say to them?
That's a good question. I just actually had this conversation. I'm in property management too with my day job. And I had a young lady, and I know God makes no mistakes. I had a young lady that was actually leaving a domestic situation. And I would tell her, look at my life. And I would share, as I did, share some of my life. There's still hope. There's still hope. And the main thing that I could say is I would ask God to show me the signs, show me the things to look for. And another thing that I would say, like I told her, is I'm not going to say don't be guarded, because sometimes we can get too guarded and then you can miss the opportunity, because I was like that at first with my husband. But the main thing I guess I would tell her is, number one, forgive herself, and be open and accepted to someone that's gonna love them. You know what I mean? Like, I guess, I don't know, I'm trying to make sure I'm putting it in right words, but be guarded, but don't be too guarded. And number one, ask God to just show you the behaviors of people, show you the signs, and you know what I mean? So that would be, I don't know, that's just personally what I would do.
Yeah. The other thing too is giving yourself time to heal.
Yes.
You know, because there's a thing called displacement. And displacement is literally transferring emotions that I may have for you over to someone else. And that's how I can literally be in a relationship or dating someone for 2 weeks and think that I'm madly in love with them. Because I just got out of one relationship where I was madly in love and I got, broken, and all of that. And now I'm in this other relationship And I'm wondering because in the beginning, y'all know it's fun in the beginning. In the beginning, things are going good. And so usually we end up falling for someone, but we're displacing, taking one emotion from this person and placing it on another person. So I would just say, make sure you take the time to heal.
Yes.
Don't be so in a rush
Be patient,
just to
yes.
be with someone, and ask yourself, why do I want to be with someone? What's going on with me that I can't be by myself? Because if I can't be by myself, I shouldn't expect you to want to be with me.
Exactly.
And so take that time to heal.
Enjoy. I did have to take a lot of time to enjoy my own company too, but that would be the main thing. Yeah.
Definitely. And so, any other questions? I know we have 5 minutes. I just love you. I love you. You're so, literally, y'all, her spirit match what you see. We can get caught up, because I've seen some pretty ugly people, and that's why we don't get caught up in outward, appearances, but I just want to say to you, you are so beautiful.
Thank you.
Inside and out, and just to watch the metamorphosis that has taken place in your life. And it doesn't mean we're perfect. Please, don't even that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
Is that we recognize and accept our imperfections, right?
Absolutely.
And so when you see people on the stage, on the platform, when you see people in positions, understand, you don't have to want to be them. Just be the best you.
Oh,
Be the best you that you can be.
Absolutely.
Someone told me yesterday, I said to them, I don't need you to be me. And she said, I know that. And she felt so empowered, because that was the first time she felt comfortable enough to say that she knows she don't have to be somebody else.
I love that. I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Be the best you that you can be. I say it all the time. And I think a lot of people too, that's why I stress the fact a lot of people have met me as Mrs. Highsmith. And that's another thing that I want to say to anybody out there too. There's hope. Please look at my life and know there's hope. You're talking about somebody that went through abandonment. I went through 2 domestic relationships. I've been through a lot. I've been through it all. I was raised by my great grandmother and born and raised in California, and by an older woman who told me, and I just told my mom this, older woman that was telling me, you're not all that pretty. You're okay looking, but I've survived a lot. Things being told to me and people going upside my head and everything else, but look at me now.
Yes.
So there's hope.
Yes. And that's the power of affirmations too, and the power of what you say to yourself. Because it's words, like you said, the things that people said to you, it's power in words. And it's things that people may have said that have you looking at you in a negative light. And so when you realize that, then you make a decision. I'm going to choose to believe something different about me.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to believe what my great-grandmother said. I'm not going to believe what my mother may have said. I'm not going to believe what them. What does God say about me?
Yes.
Or what do I choose to believe about myself?
Yes.
Right? Because we can go no further than what we believe we can.
Absolutely.
The one who say they can and also say they can't, they're right. Right? If you say you can't, you're not going to do it. But if you say you can, you will be making those steps to do it. So those of you who are watching and feeling stuck and feeling like there's no hope for your situation, we're no different. Our journeys may not be the same, but I promise you, change is for everybody. The metamorphosis is for everybody. And you don't have to suffer in silence. And women can get along.
Absolutely.
I never met you.
Nope.
Women can get along. And if you're around people that you feel like you walking in the room and you feeling some type of some uneasy type of way, you got to ask yourself, am I in the right environment? Am I with the people that I'm supposed to be around? Because I shouldn't be around people where I can't be myself.
Absolutely.
And if somebody is easily offended by you being who you are, they probably don't need to be, in your vicinity. Because if I got to do cartwheels and, have you playing me like a puppet, and then I'm looking at the strings, I don't need you to be around me. I just can't do it. I tease my staff all the time. I'm like, baby, They be like, oh, I want to work with her. I want to work. Then they get over here. They be like, oh, mouth be poked out. You know, you know,
That's what I ain't for everybody.
you know what I'm saying? I promise you.
I ain't for everybody.
I'm not. I promise you I'm not for everybody. And even as a therapist, you know, honey. So, no, so I'm not for everybody. But I literally would have people come into my office and say, I chose you because I knew you was going to give me the business. And so sometimes they want me to give them the hood part. So I got two parts. I'm going to give you the hood because I'm going to teach you the game to make sure you don't get played. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm going to teach you the other strategy. The other strategy. So, look at him. Oh, let's pray. Let us pray. No, serious. Okay, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being transparent. My audience, y'all, my staff, they all like, Lord Jesus. Yeah, pray for me. But thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for just being transparent. Can we give her a round of applause, please? Thank you. You are so awesome. You are so, isn't she awesome, y'all? I mean, your spirit, like, precedes you. Seriously. So thank you for watching again. Stories of Heroes. We will be on next Tuesday with Kimberly Pullum, and she will be talking about, you know, mental health amongst caretakers, right? Mm-hmm. When you have to care for an ailing, you know, mother or a loved one who may be sick, and how that may weigh on you mentally and emotionally. So tune in next week Tuesday at 7:30, same bat time. Is that how you said? Same bat. Oh, that's all. All right. Oh my God. I love you. I love you. It's your fault.
One thing that I would say, if you gotta even ask that question, it's time to go. Because if you're in a right situation, you wouldn't have to question it. So if you have to question that, I would really start making some moves and start saying what is this benefiting me? That's what I
And
would say.
I'll answer it from a different approach because that is good. I'll answer it from an approach of someone who's trying to figure out how to give advice to someone, you know, who they see may be going down the road. I'm saying to you, you have to be a source of support, because oftentimes when we, you know, try to say something about a relationship, someone else's relationship, we end up losing them. You know, and I raised, you know, my daughter is 22 years old, and I had to navigate, you know, her through certain things. And I'm also a believer that they got to go through their process. And we don't like it, you know what I'm saying? We're scared, you know, because we can kind of see, or we believe we can see what the end is going to be like. But even when people come to counseling, I don't tell them to leave their relationship. Now, they may go and tell their spouse that I said leave, you know what I'm saying? Because they need some, you know what I'm saying, some points, right? But I don't ever tell them to leave. I walk with them through it, right? Because when someone is tired, they don't need nobody to tell them. They know when to go, you know. So if the question, you know, you may be someone who is concerned about a young person that's in a relationship, just be there to support. Because if you isolate them, they're going to suffer in silence, and they're going to think they can't get out of whatever toxic situation they may be in.
You're right. You go, and it doesn't matter what a person says, because even my mom would see bruises on me, and I didn't leave until I was ready to leave. And I thank God I was able to, because my last situation, he pulled a gun. I could have not been able to leave. So
yeah, and a lot of women haven't. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, and you know, they just haven't. So the fact that you survived, you know, the fact that I survived, is definitely a blessing. And that's why we don't take this lightly. And again, I appreciate you for being vulnerable and transparent. And they're looking and waiting for you to write the book because they're ready. They want to hear the story, right? All right, is that it? Did she have any clarifying questions? Okay, awesome. All right, we good. We was off Gerard already. We shut us down. All right. Oh, we still on? He like, we still rolling with Rush. No, we good. This was just behind the scenes, y'all. You good. Gerard, like, you already know, we gonna roll till the wheels fall off. It's good. Thank you. Thank you all for asking the questions, for watching. Leave a comment. Let us know if you're getting something from these shows, if it's helping, break the stigma of mental health. And again, we want to thank the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board for sponsoring in part this series. Thank you.